Hi angels, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are doing another battle of the pens. This time it is MUJI against Japanese style pens. So MUJI, I guess it's a really popular like minimalist stationery brand, and this is the first time me using it and seeing if it's worth the hype. So make sure you guys subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss another one of my videos, and let's get straight on into this battle of the pens. So of course, let's start off with the MUJI pens. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a pretty popular brand. They're known for being kind of minimalist, very aesthetic. All of the aesthetic studying girlies use this. This is a Japanese brand, but the other one I'm going to be using is not necessarily MUJI. It's just a basic like Japanese style pen, I guess you can say. So here's what the packaging looks like. Now I will say it is pretty heavy duty. It is very nice quality, and I just feel like overall everything is super aesthetically pleasing, super nice. They do have the option of having a 0.38 millimeter tip instead of the 0.5 millimeter pen. So this is what the black one looks like. So when we're talking about pricing, so I got this like set of 6 for $9.80 on Amazon. So I will link it down below for you, which means that each pen is $1.63. Now I think that's a little expensive for a pen, but I guess it just depends on like what you're looking for. I will say the tip is super nice, super crisp, and the packaging again is super nice quality, so I can see why it's worth the hype. And I just think it's expensive because when I was looking at the ones that have more variety of colors, they were looking at like $30 for a set of like 10. So I don't know if it's exactly worth it, but I do understand why people do love it. And here's me weighing it and showing that it has really good density, it's really good quality, honestly, and I would see why people would use it. Next we have the Japanese styled pens. So I got this kit on Christmas, but I specifically put it on my list because I wanted to test both of these out. So this kit of 24 pens, again 0.5 millimeter, a bunch of colors though, was $20, which means that each one of these pens is 71 cents. So it's cheaper than the MUJI ones. It is different. I don't know why it says Hanku, because technically it is the brand XSG, which I really like this brand as well. I've tested other pens from them before. Here's what this tip looks like. It looks, to me personally, I prefer this tip. I just think it's more fine, and it's like, I don't know, like it's just easier for the detailing. And there's so many colors, so many varieties of pinks, of blues, of greens, of the reds. There's abundance of reds. The packaging just looks the same. The only thing that's different is the label itself. It tells it's not a MUJI pen. They just consider it a Japanese style pen. I really like the variety of color. So when I'm comparing this MUJI pen to this one, I will say the packaging of the MUJI pen is a lot nicer. I mean, from a distance you can't really tell. It's more of the weight of it. This one's a lot lighter. This one is just feels a little bit cheaper, but you get more for your buck. I'm just saying, you get more. And the MUJI ones, I don't even know, they're hard to get. I don't know if it's because like, you know, they're from Japan technically, but I don't know. You can also use the shop app, and it's cheaper on the shop app as well, but it would still be around the same price point. You would just pay less for shipping and things like that. So I'm also going to do the swatches of these and show you like how they actually work. Again, I'm going to be starting off with the MUJI ones just because I feel like, you know, it's the one everyone knows. So when I was testing this out, I did notice that the tip is super like nice. It's pretty firm. It's like got a good grip to it. And there's minimal ghosting on the back of it. Ghosting meaning like you can see through it. I do put a lot of pressure on my pens just because I'm very like heavy-handed, and you can feel that like through the paper, just like you can just feel it. I do think the tip of it is just a little bit firm, a little bit like there's not a lot of movement to it. Some of the Japanese style pens that I've tried multiple brands. Sometimes it's a little flimsy, but I will say the style of this tip, of this XSG Japanese style pens you can get on Amazon, they are a lot thinner. I don't know if it's because the has like that black thing around the tip and it's just easier to use, but I feel like the tip, even though it's a 0.5 millimeter, it just feels a lot thinner, like a lot nicer and smoother than the MUJI pens. So that's something to consider. I also just kind of like the color variety. When I'm gonna be so honest, I was so excited to try out these MUJI pens, and then I realized that you can just get these dupes. Unless you are one of those people that need like the OG, where all this inspiration came from. Like the MUJI pen is the OG like Japanese style pen that is the clear packaging and the really fine tip. MUJI, that they're like the OGs for that. And then after that you have all these brands that are kind of replicating that same thing. But for me, I just feel like these pens are so much nicer, and I see myself repurchasing these again and like using them throughout my day. I just feel like the MUJI pens, number one, they're expensive compared to the other ones. And number two, you know, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you have one that's similar, it's different. Again, I put a lot of pressure on my tip. So when I'm swatching these out, there's no ghosting with these Japanese style pens. And I was shocked because I thought there was going to be ghosting. And then I'm feeling the kind of like ridges, barely has any ridges to it. I don't know if I didn't put as much pressure, but I for sure tested both of them out like the same. So that's something else to keep in mind, is that the MUJI pens has a little bit of ghosting, and you can feel the ridges of your pen, where these ones are not as much. As like, I don't know, I just feel like they're super crisp, super nice, and really good, easy to use. And I also feel like if you lose one, you can just buy another one because it's only 71 cents per pen. So I will say they look super similar. So like, if you didn't want to get the MUJI pens, get the Japanese style ones. Like, I feel like nobody's gonna know unless you're a MUJI like stan and you're looking for the MUJI sticker. Like, I don't know, like, just I don't think it's that big of a difference to the point where you just shouldn't save your money and buy the Japanese style pen ones. I call them Japanese style pens because that's what it says when you sell them, even though technically the MUJI ones are from Japan, so they're, again, Japanese style pens. But I just feel like MUJI is the OG for this. When I'm looking at like the overall packaging, again, they look the same. The only difference that I saw after I filmed this video is the MUJI ones are actually shorter than the Japanese style pens I got off of Amazon, and the tip is a lot different. So like, if you are a MUJI person, you can tell the difference between that just because of the tips and because the packaging is just a little shorter. But it's a lot, like the MUJI pen is firmer, meaning like it's more stable. You're gonna get like precision throughout. Sometimes the Japanese style pens, depending on what brand you buy, it could be a little flimsy. So keep those things in mind. But overall, if I was gonna pick one of these, if I would want to say who won this battle, I would 100% say that it would have to be the Japanese style ones, just because I don't understand why you would spend all this money for the MUJI ones when you're pretty much getting the same thing with the just regular Japanese style ones. The pricing point is just so much better, you get more variety, and overall I just love it more. But definitely let me know what you think, and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you know another one of my videos, and stay tuned until next week's video, because I promise you guys it will be an amazing one. Bye guys.